Hey guys, sorry it's been a while since I've posted a video. A lot of stuff has been happening within the last month or so. So first of all, we had our in-laws over for about a month, and it was kind of difficult finding a place to film my videos where it'd be quiet and I had a minute to myself. It was just kind of crazy busy while they were here. And then the other thing is we were in the middle of remodeling several of our rooms, and then I really didn't have anywhere to film because our bedroom was one of them. As you can see, I finally finished our room, and it's nice. It's this nice, pretty purple color that we did. So I'm really happy that our bedroom is done. Maybe once I get everything kind of squared away, I'll do like a house tour and show you what the rooms look like before and after. But yeah, so I didn't paint this room myself. We hired people to remodel and then also paint, so we didn't have to do it ourselves. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. Ours was pretty chill. We're usually just home for Thanksgiving because, like I said, my husband works in retail. And so we don't get to travel a whole lot for Thanksgiving. Christmas is a little bit easier. But yeah, just as far as around like Black Friday and things like that, we don't do a lot of traveling. But our personal tradition for Thanksgiving, because I'm not real into like doing the traditional, like, and obviously I don't eat meat, so we don't do turkey or anything like that. But what we end up doing is we end up just going out to eat at just whatever place we happen to live nearby that has, that they're open on Thanksgiving Day. So we'll go out to eat, and then we usually go see a movie, like whatever movie is out at the time. But since we have a baby now, that kind of got like changed our plans a little bit. We couldn't go to the movie theaters, and we couldn't exactly get a babysitter for Thanksgiving Day. That's not realistic. So we ended up kind of changing it a little bit, and instead we just bought a movie that none of us had seen because we didn't end up seeing it in theaters, but we saw the Ant-Man and Wasp movie, and we loved it. It was so dang funny. So we just bought that right before, and then we watched it Thanksgiving Day, and so that was a lot of fun. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video. Today I wanted to focus on baby signs, preferably like the first 10 that I recommend people teaching their baby slash toddler when they want to start being able to communicate. I think that using baby sign language is pretty important because babies and young children, it takes them a lot longer to be able to speak with words and to be able to do that than it is to be able to make simple hand gestures. And there's a myth that I've heard from various people that they think that teaching a baby sign language will make them not want to learn to speak, and then they'll sorry, I'm having like some throat thing. It's getting really cold right now, so I'm like hoping I don't get a cold. That it'll like cause them to delay speech, but that's really not what sign language does. If anything, it just helps them so that they can communicate with you at a much younger age, and so that they can, express their needs and like what they're feeling and things like that. So I keep it pretty simple for the first few signs. I haven't been using all of these, but these are like the first 10 that I recommend teaching your baby. My son is going to be 8 months old next week, so he's getting right around the age when it's a good time to like start teaching him signs. And I've already started doing these signs to him. He hasn't really been doing them back, but he watches, and I can see he's kind of processing it when I do these signs to him because he gets that I'm trying to express something to him specifically. So let's go ahead and get into this. They're very simple. Anyone can teach their baby these signs. The most important thing when teaching a baby sign language is consistency. Just doing it every single time they're either using that thing or that action. Just doing that sign consistently, and they will eventually catch on, oh, this sign means that. So if I want that, I'm gonna do that sign. Okay, so the first one I think is pretty much the most important, because right around this age, they're still drinking milk as their main source of food, whether it's formula or breast milk. And so this is the sign for milk. So you just take your hand and you just squeeze, kind of like you're milking a cow, and you just squeeze, and this is milk. So every time I give my son a bottle, I just do the sign for milk, and I say milk as well. That's the other important part, is I think it's just as important to say what the word means, so that they see it, they hear it, and they see what you're talking about at the same time. But I try to keep it very simple, like don't say too many like formula or, you know, like breast milk. Like you want to just keep it one simple word, like milk. So I just say milk. I don't say bottle. I don't say anything else. I just say milk, and I do the sign for it. All right, the second sign, sorry, I've got my notes so I don't forget which ones I wanted to do. The second sign that I think is important is all done. And this is a good one for when they're eating, or if they're just kind of done playing with something or whatever. You just take your hands and you face them towards you, and then you just whip them out so they're facing outward. And you just go, all done, all done. And it's pretty simple for a kid to be able to express that they're done eating. All right, number 3 is mostly when they're getting into solids, and you want to keep this one separate from milk, because even though milk, they do eat it, technically it's their food, but you want to keep it separate so that they understand that milk is separate from food, from solid food. So this is eat or food. So if I give my son like a spoonful of baby food, I'll do food or eat, and you can just pick which word you prefer. All right, number 4 is pretty simple. I just usually point to myself and I go, mommy, mommy. This is the sign for mommy. You just make a high five with your hand, like you're gonna give someone a high five, and you just touch your thumb to your chin. You go, mommy, or your jaw, like right about there. And then the next one is kind of in the same realm, is daddy, except you do the same thing with your hand, but you touch the top of your forehead, or like the side of your head. Daddy, that's the sign for daddy. And the next one is, so there's technically a separate sign for tired or sleep, but I prefer just to stick to one that I think would be easy for a kid, so I just do the sign for sleep. So you just take your hand like a 5, and then you slowly close it as you bring it down to that sleep. Like, I want to sleep, so that they could express, hey, I'm tired, I want to go to bed. So that's sleep. All right, the next one, I don't see a lot of people use this one for babies, but I think that it's just as important, because sometimes when you're getting them in their car seat and like they don't, you know, or you're getting them ready to leave somewhere and they're struggling and they don't understand what's happening, but they're like miserable. I think that it's important for them to understand, hey, we're doing these things to get ready to leave the house. We're leaving the house. So this is the sign for like going bye-bye or leave, whatever word you want to use for it. So you just take your hand like this and you pinch it as you go up. So we're leaving. We're going bye-bye. And you just kind of, it's real easy. So we're going bye-bye. We're leaving. And so that's a pretty simple one. All right, the next one is a pretty good one, because I think that a lot of kids really love being read to. And so this is the sign for book. It's super easy. Like, it literally looks like you're opening a book. So this is the sign for book. So you could be like, you want to read a book? Book. All right, then the next one is important. So if they're not done quite eating and they want more of something, this is the sign for more. So you just do this with your hands. You're kind of pinching them, and then you just tap them together like this. More. You want more food? More. All right, and the last one, I always kind of struggled, at least with my daughter, because I wasn't sure what sign to use for when she had like pooped in her diaper and she was like uncomfortable and messy, and maybe I hadn't like smelled it yet and I didn't know she was poopy. So if they're uncomfortable and they want to express, hey, I need to be changed, I think the best sign for this is just to do the sign for dirty, like, hey, I'm dirty. So you just put your hand under your jaw like this, and you just wiggle your fingers. That's dirty. And then you kind of make a face with it. You go, oh, are you dirty? Dirty? So that's the sign for dirty. All right, so I'll probably do another one of these videos just adding to what I've already done, because as the child gets older, it's good to teach them more and more things, so that they can have a wider vocabulary until they're able to speak. Let me know if you have any questions, or if there's any words or signs that you want to learn that you want me to include in the next video. I'd be happy to share those. I wanted to say this real quick. I absolutely love sign language, and so that's why I feel very strongly about teaching a kid to sign while they're still really young, because my daughter had a very difficult time learning to speak. She didn't learn how to really speak clearly until she was 4 years old, because she really had a hard time with like enunciating, and she kind of had a bit of a lisp and just all these different things. But sign language made her a lot less angry. Like for a while she was an angry kid, and that's not her personality at all. Like she's a very easygoing kid. But when she couldn't communicate what she wanted, she would get very angry and frustrated, and I just felt terrible. And so I taught her a bunch of baby signs. We got a video even. And then once she was able to tell me what she needed, like she was like totally calm again, and she was like a very easy kid. So if you're struggling, even if you have an older kid that's maybe 2 or 3 or something, and maybe they're still struggling to say certain words, I totally recommend sign language. I think it's just a very good, it's a very good way of communicating with your children. And so, yeah, I'll definitely do more of these videos because I love sign language. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.